The High School Sports Beat is brought to you by Alfred State College, where within 6 months of graduating, an astonishing 99% are working or furthering their studies. At Alfred State, they stress project-based learning, where students work on real-world problems and learn how to think, not what to think. Visit alfredstate.edu.
Sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The High School Sports Beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the High School Sports Beat brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. We begin our look at Section 5 sports this week with our opening story, brought to you by Sticky Lips Barbecue and Juke Joint. Sticky Lips Barbecue Juke Joint, New York State's largest barbecue restaurant right here in Rochester. See our menu and live music calendar at StickyLipsBBQ.com. Sticky Lips BBQ, Jefferson Road in Henrietta. We begin this week at Sunset Lanes, where the communities of Gates and Chili come together to support their unified bowling team. Here's Tariq Spence.
Sunset Lanes in Gates was filled with energy for a unified bowling match between host Gates Chili and the visiting team from Spencerport. The sport is in its infancy at the high school level, but from the looks of it, it's already a success.
So this is our first year, and unified basketball came before this one, so I think this is kind of how this one started.
And then what has it been like sort of when you first announced we're going to announce to do this, what has been sort of the outpour and support? Because there's a lot of people here.
I think everybody was really excited. I think bowling is a sport where a lot of people can play, and so tons of kids came out. We've got about 24 kids on this team in the program, and then we've got about 15 other people that are just peer leaders, and they come and support the team as well.
I think the biggest thing for us was teaching them the basics of bowling and allowing them to have fun while also trying to get them to learn the game. We tried to pick kids that across the board had never done it before, so we weren't necessarily looking for athletes or people that had previous bowling experience, just so that everybody could learn together, whether it was partners or athletes.
Co-head coach Jeff Rose also works as a special education teacher at Gates Chili and sees the effect the program has on all the students.
I think the benefits for everybody. I think the athletes are having a wonderful time. I was actually just talking to the Spencerport coach, and he said the same thing. He said everybody's having a great time. The partners, yes, some of them are here to get some hours for doc or for some classes and things like that. But I think they've really seen the benefits of reaching out, and trying to be a leader or trying to be, a mentor to any kid on the team.
You don't have, in basketball, you have to make a hoop to kind of feel good, and sometimes that doesn't always happen. Well, all you have to do here is knock down a couple pins and you feel really great about yourself. So it's a nice experience for all kids.
Unlike other sports, the main priority is to have fun. Everyone together as a team.
It's been a lot of fun. Everyone gets along. We have a great time every day. We've never lost a match and felt bad. We've always had fun about it.
We have partners and athletes, and so we mix the two of them up together. And we also bring in another peer group from our school that they're students and staff, and they come and they cheer everybody on. It's just a really nice atmosphere.
How has bowling been for you so far?
It's been pretty fun. I like to enjoy the time, have fun with my teammates, and yeah.
All right. Are you want to do it again next year? Are you looking forward to practicing more?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably do it again next year.
Yeah, we have a youth activation committee that comes and, they bring food and drinks and, all these great things. And, it just allows everybody to kind of blend in together and, be a community. And it's been great. Other teams don't get as many fans as we do, but we've been great to have. We have students, we have fans, we've had administrative support, other teachers. So it's been really great to see who's come out and supported the team.
The Gates Chili Unified Bowling Team is in its first year and gets a lot of support everywhere from their coaches, volunteers, and from their peer leadership group.
So the support here is really nice to see. We have a class at Gates Chili. It's called Peer Leadership, and part of the premise of that class is to really identify needs in our community, particularly our school, and try to fix them. And our students really tap into each other, and they see that this is a great experience for everybody. They want to make it as genuine as possible and provide an atmosphere that they would want as well. I say to them, the best part of this is seeing everybody's family here and seeing them cheer each other on. And if that was your kid, you would want that kind of support as well. So I am super proud of the kids that come. That youth activation committee is really awesome. And I think they get and understand things beyond what normal high school kids do. So they want to do this. The signs that they make, the food that they bring in.
So you guys are a part of the peer group. Just talk a little bit about that. What made you get involved when you first heard about it? This is the first year they've ever done it. So what made you be a part of the peer group and helping out?
I was introduced to the peer group because my sister was also in peer, and she just talked about how amazing it was and just having the opportunity to give back to the community and support people who don't really have the same support like as other people do who play other sports. And being here is just a great opportunity just to see how amazing these group of kids are. I thought it was a really nice idea to include, support everyone around the school and have a nice team environment for everyone. It's amazing seeing how many people actually gather up for these type of events and see the smiles on kids' faces and how it really actually changes them for the better, and it just kind of feels good when you have a group of people that's supporting you at bowling.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly how I feel. Just seeing all the kids super happy that we're here to support them. And I think it's such a heartwarming feeling just seeing all the kids being included, and they're just so happy, and it's just a good feeling overall.
From the Sunset Lanes and Gates, this is Tariq Spence for the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College.
Coming up next, Matt Trabold joins us for the Dunkin High School Notebook. We'll have that when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, returns.
I know you're not supposed to look straight at it, but...
Man, it looks delicious. Get ready for a whole new way to start the day. Introducing the great-tasting, plant-based Beyond Sausage Sandwich. Only at Dunkin'.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. It is time now for the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'. And joining us once again this week is Matt Trabold. And Matt, great to have you back.
Thanks for having me on.
So, Matt, let's start talking football. Let's talk Class A in Canandaigua. Look at the Braves coming from a 5 seed in the sectionals, and here they are going to Syracuse.
Now, I need to preface this talk with the fact that the Rochester media members were told right before the game by an unnamed Buffalonian, they're like, South Park's going to beat Canandaigua 47-0. But hey, you just mentioned a second ago, this is a pretty Cinderella postseason run. The 5 seed in Class A, Canandaigua, they dominate this game against a favorite opponent. I think first half, the story was the play of the sophomore quarterback, Brian Boldrin. He had just the first quarter, a couple of passing touchdowns, including 29 yards out. He laced a thread in stride to Joey Urlacher. And then in the second half, the offense, big time, really came from the power back and their three-headed monster out of the backfield, and Zach Wantuck, who I talked about a week ago. I mean, this kid is such a big story because he, for 3 straight games late in the season, did not get 1 carry for the Braves. I don't really blame him. They have a couple other good running backs. He was doing very well blocking duty as a fullback. And it's so impressive. The kid has grinded to be a superstar in 2 games in a row now in the postseason. And in this game, In the third quarter, he had a big touchdown with a wild stiff arm, dive into the end zone, and then he set up a field goal to really put the game away. Later on, in terms of getting down with another big run to the 5-yard line, this kid is nuts. I mean, what a big story. And the fact that the entire team as a 5 seed gets so far.
Well, it's great, too, because they have so many weapons, but at the same time, it starts up front. That line is just, they dominate, it seems like, when they want to and when they need to.
And a lot of those guys aren't even two-way guys in terms of, I mean, you have J.C. Clifford 6'5", Ryan Welsh 6'6", and they don't even really do too much on offense. They really get to save their bodies for the defensive side of the ball and to be dominating on both sides there. And to have that kind of depth, not just in terms of quality, to have some good guys, but have so many kids be good and can contribute, and that really helps the longevity in a game of a lot of these kids.
And a disclaimer going into this weekend, if you want to go to McQuaid, you might want to take your antacid beforehand because they are doing nothing the simple way.
Absolutely. A week after in the sectional title game, they come back from 2 touchdowns down to beat their heated rival, Aquinas, for the second time in a year, which just has not happened in so long. They do it again in the regionals against Lancaster, down 2 touchdowns, come back to win by 4, and they did it again with the running game, on the defensive side of the ball, on top of that. I think the really big turning point in this game was Lancaster's up 2 touchdowns, second quarter. They are in McQuaid territory. They just recovered, I think, a very planned and a very smart onside kick attempt, and driver's seat for the Legends there, but Tim Oberlees picks off a pass, puffs it 62 yards down to the opposing 16-yard line, and right away McQuaid scores. So that is a huge point in the game. Another little turning point happens in the third quarter. They are able to, down 11, defensive line again coming up big, like I talked about for a second a week ago. They recover a fumble, so that's a huge point in the game. And talk about the running game. I've said it time and time again, and I've learned time and time again, I will never question the toughness of Andrew Passero. He was dealing with a lower body injury in this one, and when he was not on the field, he was having a lot of trouble walking, definitely had a limp on the sidelines. They brought an exercise bike for him. He was on that constantly on the sidelines when he wasn't in, when the McQuaid defense was on the field, trying to work through it. But when he was inside the lines, in between those lines, he ran really behind the adrenaline train for a pair of really gasp-inducing touchdown runs, including the game winner with 5 minutes left. This kid's nuts.
Yeah, that's great to see. Great to see how much this means to these kids at this time of the year. Thanks, Matt. As always, great stuff. We're back with more of the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, right after this. Coming up next, the Making the Grade nominee with Kyla O'Gara, and later, the Olympia girls soccer team heads to States. We'll have their story when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
Welcome back, and thank you for watching the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. Hit the ground running at alfredstate.edu. I'm Kyle O'Gara. Wegmans is a proud supporter of Making the Grade, which highlights the accomplishments of Section 5 student athletes on and off the playing field. Making the grade this week is Churchville-chili junior Sam Lyon. Sam is a track and field, cross-country, and indoor track runner for the Saints and has been running since middle school. Sam has been recognized as a Team Scholar athlete every semester since he started high school and maintains a 98.5 average. Outside of class and running, Sam is described as an excellent leader by his coaches and often volunteers his time to help his church, peer tutor other classmates, and is a member of the pit band for Churchville-chili. This week, Sam Lyon is making the grade. If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them into mtg@rocksportsnow.com. And now here's Dave with the McArdles Section 5 Spotlight.
Thanks, Kyle. Here are some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in this week's Section 5 Spotlight, brought to you by McArdles in Fairport. Come home to McArdles. Well, congrats to the Brighton girls cross-country team. They finished in 8th place at the New York State meet, and were the first girls team to go to states for the Barons in 35 years. The Harley-Allendale-Columbia girls volleyball team lost to Panama in the Class D Far West Regionals, but the Wolves set a school record for wins and are the reigning Class D2 champs in Section 5. And a big congratulations to the Irondequoit girls volleyball team for winning the Far West Regional matchup versus Williamsville South in Class A. The Eagles will head to the state Final Four for the first time since 2008, when they won it all. Well, up next, the Greece Olympia girls soccer team prepares for a trip to states. We'll have the Spartan story when the high school sports beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
Came now to Eichel. He floated one.
Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the high school sports beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. The Greece Olympia girls defeated Iroquois 1-0 to win the Far West Regionals and send the Spartans to a weekend in Cortland with a shot at the state title. Not bad for a program that had just 20 wins over the previous 3 seasons. If you were to ask someone to name a team from Section 5 that had earned a spot in the girls' soccer state semifinals, chances are that Greece Olympia would not be one of the teams they would mention. In fact, if you were to ask them to name a team from Greece that had made it that far, they wouldn't be the obvious choice. But the Spartans did just that this year, putting behind them decades of frustration and putting together a season that, in a word, was...
It's just amazing. It's the most amazing feeling ever, just to be a part of this and to make history happen is just awesome. Bringing our community together is just amazing too.
It's crazy. I've been a part of the team for the last 5 years, and sectionals was not even in the question. We never got this far, so the fact that we've gotten this far is absolutely insane, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
It might be surprising to people around town, but to the people on the team, not a surprise at all. They have known this was a special group that was poised to have a special year.
I knew we were going to be great. I've had some of these girls since 8th, 9th grade, and we've just been building each year, getting better and better and better. Did I know we were going to make history? Not really. But we did, and I'm excited.
You know what? When we were practicing in our summers and stuff, I just had a feeling that, we worked really hard from the beginning, and we put a lot of work and effort into every practice that we did. And so I just had a feeling that, why not? We all put our heads to it. We all worked hard, so I saw it coming from afar.
Aside from seeing what they could do on the soccer field, the way they got along off of it made things even better.
I have been on teams in the past who have argued and who have fought, and it's not good because then you don't have that connection on the field, and our connection on and off the field is it's so great that when we step on the field, there's nothing different, and it's so much easier to build and work, especially since we know each other's strengths and weaknesses. It's just so great to come and work together as one.
A lot of the girls on this team had to live with plenty of downs before they had the chance to experience a season like this. But keeping the right mindset isn't that difficult when you have such a good reason to keep showing up.
It's the love of the game. They love the game. The girls, they're just awesome girls to be around, and we're just a very tight team, and we work hard together, and we've been building up year after year to get to this point.
Maybe even more surprising is that they made this run with a newcomer in one of the most important positions, a first-year goalie who didn't let one past her on the run to the Final Four.
Oh, it's so important. Without them, our season wouldn't be what it is. My defense is so strong, and it's what makes us. So it's incredible, our defense.
And it took some time to get here. Gianna is a first-year goalie. She hasn't played in goal before. And it took some growing pains for her to get to this point. And now she's playing her best soccer, and she's crushing it every single game. She's got, some senior defenders right in front of her, and she's doing great. JC's leading the defense, and as sweeper, and Aaron is there as well.
We're 100%. If we want it, we go for it. The defense has really been playing really good. I'm the sweeper, so try to hold it together as much as we can, but it's really good for us because we have a lot of shutouts this season and we're trying to keep that momentum going. So we constantly have positive attitude. We're constantly bringing each other up on the field and just going 100% every time because we really want this. So.
Unfortunately, the Spartans' dream season came to an end in the semifinals, but it was still a year that saw them make history, and one they will never forget. We'd like to thank our sponsors, especially Alfred State College, for making the Sports Beat possible. We'd also like to thank the athletes, teams, and coaches in Section 5. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.